Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to continue with analog to digital converters. Today we'll be dealing with integrating type of analog to digital converters, and we are going to discuss on just one type of integrating type ADC. It is dual slope. So let us look at what is dual slope ADC. So this is the circuit of a dual slope analog to digital converter. First of all, let us see what are the main parts in this ADC. So, just one second. The main parts in this ADC include A1. A1 is actually a buffer amplifier using op-amp. It is just acting like a voltage follower. I don't know whether you have come across what is a voltage follower. What this means is that whatever voltage is applied at the input will be passed over to the output. It is just used as a voltage follower just for impedance matching. Okay. Now, what is this A2? A2 is an integrator using op-amp. Listen here. So, it is an op-amp with positive or non-inverting terminal, negative terminal, and R and C will be there. This shows that it is an integrator, and the output of this integrator is again given to a comparator, op-amp comparator. What does a comparator do? It just compares the voltages at the inverting and non-inverting terminal. Here at the non-inverting terminal it is ground. So whatever comes at the output of this integrator will be compared to ground, and depending on that an output voltage or a logic 0 1 will be produced to pass on to the control logic. These are the main parts of an ADC. It also has an end stage counter, a control logic. This is the actually Vin is actually the voltage which is to be converted, analog voltage input which is to be converted to digital value. This is a reference voltage. So I hope you are okay with the components now. Now what happens first is, before starting the conversion process, conversion from analog to digital, before starting the conversion itself, the first step is that you have to connect this switch SW1 to ground. Connect switch SW1 to ground, and SW2 should be closed. So what is this for? This is for compensating the offset voltages of these three op-amps. What is the meaning of offset voltage? Offset voltage, the meaning is that for an op-amp, even when the input voltage is 0, due to some characteristics of op-amp, it will produce some output voltage even when the input voltage is 0. So that voltage is actually called the offset voltage. So before applying op-amp for any purpose, if there is any offset voltage in an op-amp, it should be compensated. So here we are going to use three op-amps. One is a voltage follower, one is for integrator, and one is for comparator. So the offset voltages, if any offset voltage is present in these three op-amps, it should be grounded. So what the first step does is, by connecting this switch to ground and this switch closed, what happens is, if this is having an offset voltage, it comes across here, and this offset voltage comes across here. This offset voltage, it appears across this capacitor, and it will be grounded. So all the offset voltages present in all the three op-amps will be grounded and compensated. Now, so this is the first step in the operation of a dual step ADC. Now what happens is, you have to connect, when the start command is given, that is starting of conversion process is begun, what happens is, when that command is obtained, the control signal switches the switch W1 to Vin. our input voltage which is to be converted. So I'm repeating, when the start command is given now, what this control logic does is that it gives a command to switch W1 to connect it to V in, and it gives a command to switch W2 to open, because now we don't want all the output voltages to get compensated. Now by connecting switch W1, SW1 to V in, what happens? This voltage comes here. So this acts as a voltage follower. Whatever comes at the input, V in comes here, it appears at the output. So V in comes here now, it will be integrated by the integrator. And the integrator output is connected to the negative of the comparator. So integrator, if an integrator is having positive input voltage, its output will be always a negative ramp. Look here. So initially, before conversion starts, the voltage across the integrator will be 0, right? So suppose that the conversion starts at T1. At T1 the conversion started, start command was given, switch was connected to V in. So in the integrator starts integrating or adding up the voltages V in. So integrator output voltage is actually a negative going ramp. It goes on going towards it goes on integrating voltage in the negative direction, because the construction of integrator is that way. When integrator is having positive input voltage, its output will be negative going. Okay, that is the way an op-amp integrator is constructed. Now, so what happens here? The output voltage here is having negative value. So this negative is connected to negative of comparator. So the total voltage at the output becomes positive. So positive of an op-amp means it is positive saturation and it corresponds to logic 1. So a logic 1 digital signal comes here. So the control logic understands that it should start this end stage counter. So here actually the counter is an asynchronous counter. So if it is an n bit counter, it can count 2 raised to n clock pulses, right? It can count 2 raised to n counts. So it starts counting. So after counting 2 raised to n counts, it stops. So what is the time taken for counting that much? If T, capital T is the time taken for 1 clock pulse, for 2 raised to n clock pulses, how much time it takes? It takes 2 raised to n into T, where 2 raised to n is the number of counts it is counting and T is the time taken for 1 count or 1 clock pulse. So for how long V in is getting integrated? V in was getting integrated until this counter reaches 2 raised to n count. And so the total time period for which V in was integrated is 2 raised to n into T, that is shown here. So it is a negative going ramp. At this point the counter stops counting because it has reached 2 raised to n clock pulses, and so the total time taken is 2 raised to n into T. So for this much time V in was integrated. Okay. Now after that what happens is that when 2 raised to n has been reached, this counter gives a command to the control logic, and control logic understands that this switch needs to be connected to minus reference voltage now. So it is minus VR. What happens here? It is a voltage follower. Output will be again minus VR. So this minus voltage gets integrated now. So what happens? Starting from minus value, integrator, so minus input voltage applied to integrator means integrator output starts going to the positive direction. So when positive input voltage was given, integrator output was going in the negative direction. Now when negative VR is connected, integrator output starts going from this point, because it's starting from this point, it is going in the positive direction. Okay, at the same time counter also will be enabled and it starts again fresh from 0. Now until what time the counter counts is most important. So the integrator starts moving in the positive direction. It reaches a point T3 where the integrator output becomes 0 and it starts going in the positive direction. So at that point what happens? When integrator output crosses 0 and starts going in the positive direction, means what is the output of the comparator? Output of integrator is positive, so positive voltage comes here, so it is connected to negative, so the total output here becomes negative. It is like negative saturation and a logic 0 will be produced. When a logic 0 comes here, control logic understands that the counter should be stopped even if it has not reached 2 raised to n clock. So let us say that at that time instant, n stage counter has counted n clock pulses. So the total time taken is capital N into T. I'll repeat once again. When minus VR is integrated, here minus comes. So integrator, when it integrates negative voltage, the RAM goes positive and it reaches a point where the RAM goes to the positive direction after crossing 0. At that instant, comparator output becomes negative. A logic 0 comes here, counter stops. So let us assume that the counter has counted n counts at that time when the integrator output voltage goes positive value. It crosses 0. So the total time taken is nt. That is what is written here. Nt. Okay. Integrating minus Vm. So what is the converted value of analog input voltage? So n, the count in the counter, that digital value corresponding to that n is the converted digital value of Vin. For example, if it is a 3-bit counter, if n is 011, 011 is the converted value of Vin. Okay. Now, why it is so? We need a mathematical proof for that. The mathematical proof is that for any integrator, change in output voltage across an integrator is proportional to the input voltage and the time taken for integration. So from T1 to T2, the change in voltage across the integrator is V1 because integrator output voltage was 0 and it reached V1. So change in voltage is V1 when we take the magnitude. So it is proportional to which voltage was integrated, Vin, into what was the time taken, 2 raised to n into T. Similarly, from T2 to T3, again, it started integrating when the starting voltage of integrator was V1 and ending voltage is 0. So again, the change in voltage magnitude is V1. And which voltage was integrated? Vr. And what is the time taken for that integration? N into T. So these both change in voltages magnitudes are equal. You can equate that. You will get a relation like Vin is proportional to N. What is the meaning of that? The analog input voltage that you applied is proportional to the count in the counter. So that is why I told that in order to make use of dual slope ADC to convert an analog input voltage, the count in the counter at the end of conversion gives the value of the digital output corresponding to Vin. So I hope you have got an overall picture of dual slope ADC. If you have any queries,